Amen.
Amen.
So in our morning's class, we did a review on the Bible verses that we had considered in our study.
V našej rannej štúdii alebo na rannej hodine sme si prešli tie verše, ktoré sme predtým robili.
And I think we got most of the Bible verses that we discussed in class.
A myslím, že väčšinu z nich máme.
Now, I know some people have been studying by themselves.
Viem, že niektorí študovali sami.
So I just wanted to check if anyone else had come across any other verses.
Tak som sa chcel spýtať, či ešte niekto iný našiel nejaké iné verše.
We'll start with Sister Kathy.
Kathy?
If you'd studied any other verses that would...
Študovala si nejaké ďalšie verše?
Relationships. Ich habe mir ein paar Verse angeschaut über die Beziehungen.
These ones here? Mm-hmm. What I'll do is I'm just going to label them 1 to 5.
Ja ich označím 1 až 5.
Dass ich einfach sie nach 1 bis 5 beschriften werde.
We'll draw them out here. So it might be in a different order than you had. The first one is servant and master.
Možno, že ty to máš v inom poradí. To prvé je služobník a pán, alebo sluha a pán.
So I found Matthew 20:28 as servant.
Matúš 20.
Jesus came to serve, not to be served.
Jesus kam, zu dienen und nicht bedient zu werden.
Matúš 20:28.
John 13:13 is master.
Johannes 13:13 ist nur der Chef.
To je o tom, že Ježiš prišiel slúžiť a nie si nechať slúžiť.
Marriage.
Heirat.
Ján 13:13.
Jeremiah 31:32.
Jeremia 31 Vers.
Jeremiáš.
Israel was led out of Egypt by God, their husband.
Jeremiáš 31:32.
2 Corinthians 11:2 is marriage also.
A tiež
We are espoused to one husband to
2.
be presented to
Korinťanom.
Christ.
Neviem, ktoré nezachytila som. 2.
One husband.
Korinťanom
One husband.
11:2.
Number 3, siblings.
Potom
Hebrews
súrodenci.
2:11.
To je Židom.
2:11.
He's not ashamed to call
Židom
us brethren.
2:11. To sú vlastne tie verše, ktoré
Acts of the Apostles.
hovoria o tých vzťahoch, čo tam menoval 1., 2., 3.
46.1.
Skutky apoštolov.
Jesus, our elder brother.
Strana
Parent and
46,
child.
prvý odstavec.
John 20:17.
Johannes 20 Vers 17.
I go to my father and your father.
A potom o rodičoch a deťoch, to je Ján.
And 1 John 3:2.
20:17.
Oh no, that's not it. No, 1 John 5:20.
A 1. Jánova
The Son of God.
5.
Sohn Gottes.
And friend. John 15:15.
Und Johannes 15:15.
I no longer call you servants, but friends.
Wir sind keine Diener, sondern Freunde.
Jan
Exodus
15:15.
33:11.
Už nie ste sluhovia, ale priatelia.
3 Vers 11.
Moses was a friend of God.
Mose war ein Freund Gottes.
Tamto predtým bola 1. Jánova 5:20 a teraz ešte Exodus 33:11.
Did you find any for here that we might find
A
useful?
niečo si na toto našla?
6 open.
über das 4 und das 6.
There was I looked at John 6:46.
Ich habe mir
Pozerala som sa na Jána 6:46.
That says no one has seen the Father except me.
Tam sa píše, že nikto nevidel Otca okrem mňa.
gesehen außer mir.
And then John 14:9.
Und dann
A ešte Ján 14:9.
When they asked for Jesus to show them the Father,
haben sie gefragt, ob ihr
Keď chceli vidieť Otca,
den Vater zeigen kann.
he said, "If you see me, you see the Father."
on im povedal, videli ste mňa, videli ste Otca.
Hast du den Vater gesehen?
And that made me think about when the priests go to the Levites.
Keď kňazi pôjdu k Levitom,
Nachgedacht, wenn die Priester zu den Leviten gehen,
That when they see us, they'll see Christ.
keď uvidia nás, uvidia Krista.
Mm.
Okay. So John 6 and John 14 are teaching the same thing.
Ján 6 a Ján 14 hovoria o tej istej veci.
I'll give a couple of more.
Dám ešte pár ďalších.
I'll redo these.
Tieto prerobím.
These are all John.
Všetky sú z Jána.
1:18.
1:18,
Thank you.
5:31, 5:31, 6:46, 14:9 a 15:24.
And this is 1 John 1.
A potom toto je z 1. Jánovej 1, 2 a 3.
So all of
A
these
4,
verses from
14.
John
Všetky tieto verše od Jána,
all teach the same principle.
všetky učia ten istý princíp,
That only Jesus
že len Ježiš
has seen the Father
videl Otca
and only he can testify of
a
him.
len on môže o ňom svedčiť.
Anybody else got any other verses that they share?
Ešte niekto má nejaké ďalšie verše?
Isaiah?
Izaiáš?
Okay, so if there's none other,
Izaiáš 54:5.
I want to ask a question.
Chcem sa spýtať otázku.
Is everybody okay with this principle?
Súhlasíte s týmto princípom?
Yes? Does everybody understand why it's important?
A rozumiete, prečo je to dôležité?
What is it teaching
Čo nás
us?
to učí?
Sister Aileen?
Eileen?
What does this teach us?
Čo nás toto učí? Že na tejto zemi máme rôzne vzťahy, ktoré nám pomáhajú rozumieť vzťahu s Bohom.
So all this is God.
Toto všetko je Boh.
What methodology do we call this? Sister?
Aká metodológia je toto?
What methodology do we call this? When you go from the human to the
Keď
divine.
ideme od ľudského k božskému.
divine? From the literal to the spiritual, what do we call that?
Od toho doslovného k duchovnému.
Good. Compare and contrast is a type of or a form of.
Porovnanie a kontrast je vlastne čo?
Good. And Sister Catherine gave us another word.
Catherine nám dala ešte ďalšie slovo.
Remember this morning? No? Sister Dahlia?
Talia?
What?
Do you remember the other word that Sister Catherine gave us?
Pamätáš si na to
Means the same as parable.
iné slovo ešte, čo hovorila Catherine?
No.
The Jim?
Jim?
Good. Do you remember that?
Pamätáte si
Good.
to?
Proxy means substitute.
Zastupníctvo alebo
These are all
náhrada.
substitutes.
Toto sú všetko také zástupné
Now,
vzťahy.
hopefully everybody's okay with this study and what it's teaching
Dúfam,
us.
že všetci súhlasia s tým, čo nás toto učí.
Our focus
Naše
was
zameranie
on this
je
one,
na toto.
John 13,
Jan
new commandment.
13. Nové prikázanie.
What's one of the discoveries that we made?
Čo sme odhalili? Čo je jeden z tých vecí, ktoré sme
When you
odhalili?
see this new commandment,
Keď vidíme toto nové prikázanie.
Sister Catherine, it's a current problem in our movement.
Je to teraz problém v našom hnutí aktuálny.
Let's Sister Catherine go.
There's a new commandment, then there's the old commandment, and we
Slow down,
Also es gibt ein neues Gebot und ein altes Gebot.
a bit louder. A bit. Oh, sorry. There's a new commandment.
Takže je nové prikázanie.
Carry on.
and then if there's a new commandment, there has to be an old commandment.
Keď je
Okay.
nové, musí byť aj staré.
Ein neues Gebot und wenn es ein neues Gebot gibt, dann muss es auch ein altes Gebot geben.
And we have been putting the emphasis on the old commandment.
My sme dávali dôraz na to staré prikázanie,
To love God
aby sme milovali Boha
or follow His law, His rules.
a následovali jeho prikázania alebo pravidlá.
You just tell when you're done.
Sag's mir einfach, wenn du fertig bist.
With Wolfgang. Okay, we need a bit more.
Also wir brauchen mehr Informationen.
There's something missing.
Ešte niečo chýba?
Anybody venture? About the...
That we lied with the old.
No, not about lying.
Nie, o klamstve.
That's another one.
Ešte jedno.
We'll have to go more.
And one of those rules, laws, is the Sabbath.
Und einer dieser
V jednom z týchto
sind der Sabbat.
prikázaní je aj sobota.
Okay. Is this one?
Suelen.
Well, the part of the new commandment is to look at it in a different perspective.
Also
Súčasťou
ein
nového
Teil davon,
prikázania je, že sa pozeráme na to z inej perspektívy.
So, and then we put it on a chiasm.
Robili sme z toho chiasmus.
ein Chiasmus.
So we had the old commandment and the new commandment. The emphasis was on the old commandment, but in the new, in the first 4 verses of the 10 Commandments about God.
Die ersten 4 Verse über Gott.
Tie
And then there are the second 6 commandments that are about our relationship with other with our neighbors.
Prvé 4 sú o vzťahu s Bohom a posledných 6 sú o vzťahu s ľuďmi.
So in the new perspective, we look at our relationship with our neighbors
Čiže v tej novej perspektíve sa pozeráme na vzťahy s našimi
as a
blížnymi,
parable
je to ako podobenstvo.
of our relationship with God.
Podobenstvo nášho vzťahu s Bohom.
But in order for it all to balance, we do have to have both parts on each side.
Na to, aby sme mali tú rovnováhu, obidve musia byť na obidvoch stranách.
Okay, what I'd like is the simple version.
Ja by som to chcel nejako jednoducho.
So we all get it.
Čiže chápeme to.
Okay, the last 6 commandments that are regarding our relationship with our neighbor is a parable for our relationship with God.
Tých posledných 6 podobenstiev teda posledných 6 prikázaní je podobenstvom na tie prvé 4.
Sister Tamina,
Tamina,
what's the current problem in our movement?
aký je teraz problém v tomto
There are
hnutí?
lots of them, but the one that we're dealing with here. It's one word.
Jedným slovom.
Too liberal.
Two words.
Sme príliš liberálni.
Fanaticism.
So
Fanatizmus.
we'll go with fanaticism then.
Or can I use another one? Unbalanced, because you use a balance up there.
Nevyváženosť.
So we have realized
Uvedomili sme si,
that the great
že
test
tá veľká skúška
is
je
equality.
rovnosť.
How we treat other people.
Ako sa chováme k druhým ľuďom.
And there is such a strong emphasis on this
A na toto je taký silný dôraz.
This strong emphasis has come from the world.
Ten prichádza zo sveta.
We've seen that the world practices this.
Vidíme, že svet toto praktikuje.
However crudely they do it,
Akokoľvek prekrútenie asi to robia.
they have the point,
Alebo zvratenie, ale majú
and
tú
they didn't
pointu,
need
chápu
God
to.
to work that out.
A na to, aby na to prišli, to urobili bez Boha.
And they didn't need the 6 commandments to work that out.
A nepotrebovali na to 6 prikázaní.
Why?
Prečo?
Because these Gentiles,
Pretože pohania
they keep the 6 commandments
dodržiavajú
naturally,
6 prikázaní prirodzene,
even though they've never read them.
aj keď ich nikdy nečítali.
We saw them doing this,
My sme videli, že to robia,
and we were fascinated.
boli sme z toho fascinovaní.
And more than fascinated, we were impressed.
Spravilo to na nás veľký dojem.
We looked at them
Pozerali sme na nich
and compared them to,
a porovnali ich
who do we compare them to?
s čím?
We compared them to,
Porovnali sme
we
ich
compared them to us.
s nami.
And they're winning,
Oni vyhrávajú
and
a
we're
my
winning. We're
A
failing.
my zlyhávame.
Winning isn't a good word. I wanted to use that one
Vyhrávanie nie je dobré slovo, ale
because they're beating
chcel som
us.
ho použiť, lebo oni v nás,
So
oni nás
the
ako
better way
keby
to express
porazili
it
v
is
tom.
they're passing the test and we're failing the
Oni
test.
tou skúškou prešli a my nie.
So they've inspired us.
Inšpirovali nás.
If they can do it,
Keď oni to môžu robiť,
what is it, Sister
čo
Kathy?
môžu robiť?
If they can do it, we can do it.
Ak my môžeme, aj oni môžu. Ak
So
my
we have to have a
dokážeme, aj
complete
oni môžu
shift.
dokázať. Museli sme úplne sa preorientovať,
Complete change.
zmeniť.
Where are we looking?
Kam sa pozeráme?
Where have we been
Kam
looking?
sme sa pozerali?
Number 4. Where have we been looking?
To sú tie 4.
Yeah, where are we looking? Where were our
Kde
eyes?
sú naše oči
If you're
zamerané?
keeping the first 4. Where's that? So we've had our eyes looking upwards to heaven,
My máme zafixované oči na nebo
And the world told us
A svet nám hovorí,
to look on earth.
pozrite sa na zem.
Completely opposite to what we thought.
Úplný opak tomu, čo my si myslíme.
And we've become so attuned, so focused in doing this.
Boli sme takí zameraní na toto,
Some of us have decided.
že niektorí z nás sa rozhodli,
What have some of us decided?
čo sme sa rozhodli.
Let's abandon God
Opustíme Boha,
because it's not the great test.
lebo to nie je tá veľká skúška.
The world is teaching us.
Svet nás učí.
So what we can see
To, čo vidíme,
is because we had the 4 and the 6,
pretože máme 4 a 6,
seeing as this is a chiasm,
a toto je chiastická štruktúra,
unbeknownst to some of us, we did not know,
my sme to nevedeli,
that not only must the world keep the 6, they must also learn to keep the 4.
nielen ten svet musí dodržiavať 6, ale musia sa naučiť dodržiavať aj tie 4.
And now we can go back into 2 former histories.
A môžeme sa teraz vrátiť do 2 predchádzajúcich
Which ones
dejín.
are they, Sister Llewellyn?
Ktoré?
2 former histories.
Zwei ältere
Ktoré sú
Geschichten.
to?
You can give me the decades or the,
Du kannst mir das Jahrzehnt
I
geben.
don't know what.
Okay, now we can go back into 2 former histories. What was the beginning of that?
So the 2 former histories, we can go back into these 2 former histories and learn something.
Keď sa vrátime do týchto
Analyze
dejín
them.
a niečo sa z nich naučíme.
Etwas lernen davon.
What are the 2 former
Ktoré
histories
sú to
we should go
dejiny?
into?
Was sind die zwei Geschichten, die wir uns anschauen können?
Are they other dispensations?
Sind das die
Kind
anderen
of.
Dispensationen?
Myslíš
Ja,
nejaké
eine
iné obdobia?
What did you say right before that?
Čo si povedal
Therefore, we
tesne
can go to
predtým?
No, I mean before therefore.
Also was hast du davor gesagt?
When you see that they have to keep 6 and 4,
Uh-huh.
Keď vidíme, že oni musia dodržiavať 6 a 4.
we can go back into these histories and explain what we can see there.
Vrátime sa do týchto dejín a
Erklären, was wir dort gesehen haben.
vysvetlíme, čo sa tam stalo.
Yeah, this is Catherine.
Weißt du das,
Katrin?
Schwester Catherine?
The line of ancient
No,
Israel.
not ancient Israel. Sister Haley? Not time of the end.
Civil rights movement?
Much more simple.
Oh.
Much simpler than that. And it's only 2.
Only 2.
Sister Smith?
Like the reforms? Like, no, it's not them.
The decade.
The 1890s or 1880s?
Okay, that's the second one.
1863.
1860s.
1860. roky a 1890. roky.
So, what have we learned here?
Čo sme sa naučili tu?
Slavery.
Otroctvo.
Slavery is which
To
number?
je ktoré číslo?
Sklaverei ist welche Nummer?
Number 1.
You said what?
I said number 1.
It's the 6,
Das ist die Nummer
To
6,
patrí k tým
second
6.
great commandment.
das zweite große Gebot.
To je to druhé veľké
Love thy neighbor as
prikázanie.
thyself, the golden rule.
Deinen Nächsten wie dich selber.
Milujte
I think the
blížnych
number
ako
is
seba
right. If
samých.
black people are 3/5 of a human,
Wenn die
is
schwarzen
that right number? The right percentage? 3/5?
Čierni
Then all the white people should
ľudia
have chopped 2 of their arms off or something, so
sú...
they could have been equal. Don't worry. They used to say that a black person was 3/5 of a human.
Zvykli hovoriť, že čierni ľudia sú len 3/5 z 3/5
If a
človeka.
human is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
A keď
parts,
človek má 5 častí, telo, 2 ruky a 2
I said they
nohy,
should chop 2 parts of a white person off.
tak som povedal, museli by odrezať 2 časti bieleho človeka, aby sa rovnal čiernemu.
So they'd be equal.
Boli by potom rovní.
It's an English joke. I don't know how to do it. It's okay. Does the joke not work in? Perhaps it doesn't work in German. Does it work to get it, Sister Tamina?
Parts of,
Only 2 parts.
and then you have what?
Equality.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Translate that because it didn't get translated.
Gleichheit zu haben, dann musst du halt, wenn du den einen Arm abhaust, musst du den anderen Arm auch abhauen, dann ist es wieder gleich.
Okay, it doesn't translate well, obviously. Okay, don't worry. 1860. The great test is number 6, slavery.
1860, to je otroctvo, to bola tá veľká skúška.
This chart.
Táto karta,
What's the purpose of this chart?
aký je zámer
One
tejto
purpose.
karty? Má len jeden
Teach you
zámer, aby
what?
nás naučila čo?
Sanctuary. The Sabbath.
Aby nás naučila o sobote.
That's the purpose of the chart. The conclusion of the story is all here. It's the
Ten
Sabbath.
záver celého príbehu je tu v tomto rohu. Svetiňa a
This is
sobota.
written in 1850
To je napísané v
in
1850
preparation
roku.
for the
To
1860s.
bola príprava na tie 60. roky.
So what are we
To,
doing?
čo robíme? Alebo,
Teaching something that's not the great test.
alebo prečo učíme niečo, čo nie je to veľkou skúškou?
So what is all this teaching, this
Čo
chart?
učí tá tabulka?
It's teaching number 4.
Učí tie 4.
Because this movement
Pretože toto hnutie
was focused upon this chart,
sa tak zameralo na túto tabulku.
all we could see is number 4. We didn't know number 6.
Všetko, čo sme videli, bola tá 4, ale 6 sme nepoznali.
What's
Čo je
this?
toto?
This doctrine.
Toto učenie.
Sabbath. So we said the Sabbath was the great issue in the 60s.
To bol veľkou témou v 60. rokoch.
You go 44 Sabbath, 45 Sabbath, 46 Sabbath.
44. o sobote, 5. 46. o sobote,
Oaks, Bates, White.
Oaks, Bates a White.
All Sabbath.
Všetko je o sobote.
Then we go to the
Potom
1890s.
prídeme k 90. rokom.
What's the
Čo je
great
tá
test?
veľká skúška?
6. And what do we think it's all about?
Veľká skúška je 6 a my si myslíme,
Think it's
že je
about
to
the
o
Sabbath.
čom? My si myslíme, že je to o sobote.
Or
Alebo?
what's the other symbol for Sabbath?
Aký je ešte symbol pre sobotu?
Third angel's message?
Tretie anielské posolstvo.
What's the question everyone's asking?
Čo sa stále niekto pýta? Každý teda?
What's the question everyone's
Akú
asking?
otázku sa každý pýta?
I'll finish it off for you. In verity. Too hard?
Yeah.
Asking, is this the third angel's message?
Is what?
Justification by faith.
Čo je,
Someone find the passage.
čo je tretie anielské posolstvo?
They ask the question,
Pýtajú sa otázku.
is what Jones and Wagner are teaching, is that the third angel's
To,
message?
čo učia Jones a Wagner, to je tretie anielské posolstvo?
She says it
On
is.
hovorí, že áno.
Yes. But they say in terms of the justification message, say, is that the third angel's message? Is it the Sabbath issue? And she says, yes. So, what was the great
Aká
test?
bola tá veľká skúška?
Here it's slavery, here it's
Tu je
what?
to otroctvo, tu je to čo?
It's about protecting the rights of the
Je
minorities.
to o ochrane práv menšín.
So we're looking for the reference that Ellen White says here. First read it to us.
Pozrieme
Just
sa
a
na to, čo
punchline.
Ellen Whiteová k tomu
Okay.
hovorí.
Several have written to me inquiring if the message of justification by faith.
One second, we'll start again.
Okay. Several have written to me
Niekoľko ľudí mi písalo,
inquiring if the message,
pýtajúc sa, či posolstvo
Asking.
asking of justification by faith
ospravedlnenia z viery
is the third angel's
je
message.
tretie anielské posolstvo.
And I have
A ja som
answered,
odpovedala,
it is the third angel's message in verity.
áno, je to tretie anielské posolstvo na skutku.
Review and Herald,
Review a Herald,
April 1st,
1.
1890.
apríl 1890.
It's almost comical. April the 1st.
1. apríl.
So, the great test,
Takže tá veľká skúška
it's
je,
questioning
tu otázka je,
the Declaration of Independence,
uh,
the statement,
tá deklarácia nezávislosti.
does everybody have rights?
Má každý práva?
If you have a right,
Ak máte právo,
who gives you the
kto vám ho
right?
dáva?
Who gives you the
Kto vám
right?
dáva to právo?
The Creator.
Stvoriteľ.
You just have it.
Proste ho máte.
In fact,
Vlastne,
if you want to be
ak
technical,
chceme byť technický,
did the Creator give it to you?
dal vám to stvoriteľ?
I think you're just born with it.
You just born with it?
Du bist einfach damit geboren.
Even He can't give it to
Ani
you.
on vám ho nevie dať.
God didn't give us these
Boh
rights.
nám nedal práva.
Because if He gave them to us, He could do what?
Ak by nám ich dal, mohol by spraviť čo?
Dann könnte er es auch uns wegnehmen.
He could take them
Mohol by nám
away.
ich vziať.
And He cannot.
Und er kann
Ale
es nicht.
nemôže.
He cannot give nor take, not even He has that power.
Er kann sie nicht
Nemôže
wegnehmen oder
nám ich
uns
ani
geben.
dať, ani
Er hat
vziať.
die Macht.
Ani,
If He tried to
on
take
nemá
it
tú
away,
moc. Ak to chceme odňať alebo zobrať preč,
what would we
čím by
become?
sme sa stali?
Perhaps just like a blob of jelly or something. Pudding. Pudding. We've become a pudding. We'll go with that one. That will intrigue the
pudding?
Germans. Sister Shemaine, you're going to become a pudding. We would just melt into dust.
Proste by sme sa rozpadli na prach.
For us to be
Na to, aby
human,
sme boli ľuďmi,
we can't be given this thing
táto vec nám nemôže byť daná.
because no one gave it to God.
Nikto to nedal Bohu.
What makes Him God
To, čo ho robí Bohom,
is that He has these rights.
je, že on má tieto práva.
What are the rights, Sister Sue Ellen, that God has?
Die Gott hat.
The unalienable rights?
Neodnateľné práva.
Yes. Pardon me? The ones that cannot be challenged, inalienable.
Tie, ktoré nemôžu byť
You can't prove it, it's just there.
Man kann sie nicht beweisen.
ako dokázané, proste sú tam.
Number one. These rights that we have.
Ktoré sú
The
to?
pursuit of happiness. I mean, the pursuit of life.
Život,
Life.
Leben.
Liberty,
sloboda.
What's liberty?
Čo je to sloboda?
Was ist Freiheit?
free will,
Slobodná vôľa.
and freedom of conscience.
Freedom.
Sloboda.
Freiheit.
And the third?
A tretie.
The pursuit of property.
A
Good.
majetok. Získanie majetku.
Will we come in? I'm not going to say. I'll get accused then. So it's three things that we have a right.
Na 3 veci máme právo.
And the more you think about it, the more you see that this is a definition of God.
Čím viac budete o tom rozmýšľať, tým viac uvidíte, že toto je definícia Boha.
Life,
Život,
freedom,
sloboda
and the pursuit of happiness or
a
property.
získanie šťastia alebo získanie majetku.
Because that's what makes you happy.
To nás obšťastňuje.
Property.
Majetok.
The more you get, the happier you
Čím
are.
viac máš, tým si šťastnejší.
So that's the test here.
To je tá skúška tu.
Let's explain what the dynamic is.
Vysvetlíme tie vzťahy, o čom
If
to
you have
je.
minority, what else do you have? You have the minority
Tá skúška bola
and you have the
menšiny.
majority.
Tam bola menšina a väčšina.
And the majority say what?
Väčšina povedala čo?
We want a law
Chceme zákon
for the whole
na
country.
celú krajinu,
Because you have to have a whole law for the whole country.
pretože zákon platí pre celú krajinu
And it's for the benefit of the
a
majority.
je to v prospech väčšiny.
But if you don't like the law,
Ak sa vám ten zákon nepáči,
we, the majority,
väčšina,
We'll do you a favor.
Vám spravíme láskavosť.
We'll give you a special gift.
Dáme vám zvláštny darček.
You don't have to follow that rule.
Nemusíte následovať toto pravidlo.
You just have to prove to us,
Musíte nám dokázať,
and it will make it an easy
a
test,
bude to pre vás ľahkou skúškou,
that you don't want to follow our law.
že nechcete.
So it's called an exclusion right.
Bolo to také exkluzívne právo,
So
výnimočné.
the issue that they said
A
was
povedali,
exclusion. When you exclude someone, they're not part of your group.
keď niekoho
Yeah, all good.
vylúčime, nie je súčasťou
So
tej
the
skupiny.
issue is they all want to keep Sunday.
Všetci chcú dodržiavať nedelu
The minority
a
say
tá menšina hovorí,
we don't want to keep.
my nechceme
Sunday.
dodržiavať nedelu,
We want to do
my
what?
chceme čo?
No.
Sobotu dodržiavať? Nie.
We want to do what we
My
want.
chceme robiť, čo my chceme.
We want to rest every day,
Buď chceme mať
no days.
odpočinok každý deň, alebo žiaden deň.
They're saying we can do what we
Oni
want.
hovoria, môžeme robiť, čo my chceme.
And therein lies the
A tu je
problem.
problém.
Because they're going to say
Lebo oni hovoria,
Sunday,
že nedela,
and these people are
a
going to
títo
say
ľudia hovoria,
we can do what I want, we can do what we want.
môžeme robiť, čo my chceme.
What would happen
Čo by sa stalo,
if if these suddenly became the minority and these became the
ak by
majority?
sa z tohto stala menšina a z tohto väčšina?
It would destroy the law.
To by zničilo ten zákon.
Can we see that?
Vidíme?
So what would these people
Čo
do
by títo ľudia urobili,
when they start seeing their law destroyed?
keď začnú vidieť, že ten ich zákon je ničený?
Sorry?
Wie?
They would stop it.
Zastavili by to.
They would take away their exclusion.
Tú výnimočnosť by zobrali,
Otherwise, there wouldn't be any point in doing the law. Would they go back to square one?
to by ináč nemalo vôbec význam robiť ten zákon.
So these
Takže
people,
títo ľudia,
when they make this law,
oni robia tento zákon,
because it's a religious
pretože
law,
je to náboženský zákon.
what are they
Čo
saying?
hovoria?
The exclusion can only apply
Tá exkluzia sa môže aplikovať, alebo výnimočnosť
basically to people of
sa
faith,
môže aplikovať len na ľudí viery.
or you have to have a good
Alebo
reason.
keď máš nejaký na to dobrý dôvod.
You can't just do what you
Nemôžeš
want.
si len robiť, čo chceš.
This is the issue in the
Toto bol
1890s.
ten problém v 90. rokoch.
Now, the United States
Spojené štáty
is full of Seventh-day Adventists,
sú plné
and
adventistov.
they're the ones that are doing this.
Oni sú tí, ktorí robia toto.
They
A
say-
oni hovoria,
You Protestants or Catholics,
vy ste protestanti
we'll do an exclusion right for you.
alebo katolíci, dáme vám také výnimočné právo.
You can keep
Môžete
Sunday.
dodržiavať nedelu.
Jones said if it was that way
Keby to
round,
tak-
it would still be
Keby to
wrong.
tak bolo, Jones povedal, tak by to bolo zlé a nesprávne.
And you know this won't work
Vieme, že to nebude fungovať,
because we have evidence for this.
pretože máme na to dôkazy.
They want to make the United States what kind of a country?
Chcú zo Spojených štátov urobiť akú krajinu?
It's like they want to take that country and follow the equivalent of Sharia law, Islamic law.
Chcú zobrať tú krajinu a ako keby nasledovať
Gleich machen wie das Islam Scharia-Gesetz. Scharia-Gesetz.
šaria zákon, akože islamský zákon. Chcú z tej
Das,
krajiny
was
urobiť
das Scharia-Gesetz
kresťanskú.
Scharia-Gesetz
Vlastne
im
tak, ako
Islam
je v
machen, so
islamskej
wollen sie es in
zákon
Amerika mit
Scharia.
ihrem Gesetz machen.
Tak to chcú robiť s Amerikou vlastne prospech kresťanstva.
They're not asking for Sharia law, they're asking for Christian law.
Oni samozrejme nepýtajú šaria zákony, oni si pýtajú kresťanské zákony.
Where does it lead?
Kam to vedie?
It leads to a theocracy.
Teokracii.
And the model that you have for any theocracy
Model, ktorý máme pre ktorúkoľvek teokraciu,
is the exclusion rights disappear really quickly.
to exkluzívne právo, že máte výnimku, to veľmi rýchlo zmizne.
Are we okay with that?
Súhlasíme?
When you were saying the minorities
Könntest du noch mal erklären, wenn du gesagt hast, dass
became the majority,
Keď tá menšina,
Minorities are
became
keby
the
sa stala
majority.
väčšinou,
die Minderheiten die Mehrheiten wurden?
This is all done because these are Christians.
toto sa deje preto, lebo sú to kresťania.
So when you get enough people who are not Christians,
Keď máte dostatok ľudí, ktorí nie sú kresťania,
they'll say,
povedia,
we don't want to rest on
my
Sunday.
nechceme odpočívať v nedeľu,
We want to start making money or doing our own
my chceme
thing.
vtedy zarábať peniaze a robiť to, čo my chceme.
And there's an exclusion clause that we can do that.
A máme na to výnimku.
So as time goes on,
Ako ide ďalej ten čas,
more and more people would want to get the exclusion right.
stále viac ľudí by chcelo mať to výnimočné právo.
As it becomes more and more secularized.
Ako sa svet sekularizuje,
So what would end up happening
čo sa nakoniec stane,
is that the minority would end up becoming the majority,
že z tej menšiny sa stane väčšina
and this Christian majority
a táto kresťanská väčšina,
would lose this Christian
tá
majority
kresťanská väčšina
would lose the strength or the purpose of their law
stratí zámer toho svojho zákona,
because you're going to get lots of minority groups.
pretože bude veľa vlastne menšinových skupín.
Be a majority,
Sind die Minderheiten jetzt
numbers wise?
In that time period,
in dieser Zeitenperiode?
Oh, in this time. Okay.
in 1890s, I don't think they are.
Okay. I'm just
V tomto
okay.
čase, myslím, že v 90.
But you can
rokoch
see
to
today-
tak nebolo.
Aber du kannst heute sehen,
And this switchover probably happened a long time ago.
Tento
Hence my point.
prerod sa už
They would have
stal,
become the
oni
majority.
by sa stali tou väčšinou. Tá menšina by sa stala
The
väčšinou.
law would have been
Ten
destroyed.
zákon by bol zničený.
Now, if that law had been done,
Ak by to tak, ten zákon bol zavedený,
where are we
kde
today?
by sme boli dnes?
The law is virtually null and void.
Ten zákon je... Teraz neviem, čo to je.
It's on the books, but it can't be enforced
Bol vlastne napísaný, ale nemohol vojsť v platnosť.
because there's too many minorities who want to follow the exclusion law.
Pretože je príliš veľa menšín, ktoré chcú mať výnimočné právo.
So even though they offer
Aj keď
this,
to ponúkajú,
Jones and the others,
Jones aj ostatní,
they
oni
know
vedia,
this is only a temporary solution.
že je to len dočasné riešenie.
And that's why the Declaration of Independence was written, because you have a right
Preto bola napísaná deklarácia nezávislosti, pretože ľudia majú svoje práva.
the privilege
Tá,
cannot be a gift that someone gives you.
to, čo je naše privilegium, to nemôže byť dar, ktorý nám niekto dáva.
Because if they say, I will give you
Ak oni
liberty,
povedia, ja ti dám slobodu,
they become your boss,
oni sa stávajú vašim šéfom,
your king, your
vašim kráľom,
dictator.
diktátorom.
And if they're going to offer you something
Ak vám niečo ponúknú
today,
dnes,
what will they do tomorrow?
a čo urobia zajtra?
They'll take it
Zajtra to
away.
vezmu.
And therefore you cannot allow them to give you
Čiže
anything.
nemôžeme im dovoliť nám niečo dať.
This is the same
To je
dynamic
tá istá dynamika,
as what event.
ako ktorá udalosť
It's under the great controversy
vo veľkom spore
in Europe.
v Európe.
1529.
What do we call that?
1529? Čo to je?
What do we call that?
Who are these
Kto
people?
sú títo
that do
ľudia?
this?
Protestants.
So what's
To
that?
sú protestanti.
Reformation. No.
die Protestanten,
Protest of?
Protest of the
Protest
Princes,
knieža.
sorry.
Princes, thank you.
Bol protest
It's
knieža.
the same issue as the protest of the princes. That's what they wanted to
To bol
do.
presne ten istý problém pri proteste
These
knieža.
people
Oni chceli,
said everything's good.
oni hovoria, všetko je dobré,
We'll give you exclusion
dáme vám
rights.
výnimočnosť.
And the
A
princes,
tie kniežatá,
what did they
čo
know?
vedeli?
You give us the right today,
Dnes nám to právo dáte,
even if you keep your word.
aj keby ste dodržali svoje slovo,
Tomorrow,
zajtra
you'll take that away from
nám
us.
ho vezmete.
And in matters of conscience
A v otázkach svedomia,
or inalienable
to
rights,
je neodnateľné právo,
you cannot hand that over to anybody.
to nie je niečo, čo môžete niekomu dávať.
Sister Minda and Sister Kathy.
By the way, 1526, the rights were given. 1529, he tried to remove those rights again. But what I wanted to say
V
is,
1526 tie práva boli
During
dané
the
a v 29
Reformation,
boli vzaté.
even the Protestants, they struggled with the same principle of 6 and 4.
Protestanti tiež zápasili s tým istým princípom 4 a 6.
Especially when you look at the movement of Munzer
Hlavne to hnutie Monzerovo
and the fanaticism
a fanatizmu,
which was going on there.
ktorý sa tam dial.
I think this is to some extent resembling what we're facing in this movement.
Do určitej miery to vlastne zobrazuje to, čo sa deje v hnutí.
Good. Sister Kath?
I think this is also connected to the rights of minorities to vote.
Myslím, že toto je spojené aj s právami menšín voliť,
where we use language for the black people and women
kedy používame taký jazyk pre čiernych ľudí a ženy,
that they were given the right,
že im to bolo dané, to právo.
and they were not given the right. That was their right to begin with.
Im to právo nebolo dané, to bolo od začiatku ich právo.
It was just recognized that they had been oppressing these people
Len sa vlastne sme rozpoznali,
and
že tých
denying their
ľudí
rights.
sme utláčali a sme im nedoznali tie práva.
So we don't allow women to be leaders.
Takže nedovolíme ženám, aby viedli.
It's their right.
My im nedovolujeme, je to ich právo.
3 rights.
3 práva.
What's the third one,
To
Sister
tretie je
Catherine?
aké, Katrin?
Pursuit of property.
Good.
Získanie majetku.
Pursuit of
Pursuit.
property.
Právo na získanie majetku.
The declaration says the pursuit of happiness,
Tá deklarácia
but the original is the
nezávislosti
pursuit of property.
hovorí na získanie šťastia, ale v pôvodnom dokumente
So
bolo
there's a nice
získanie
story on
majetku.
this issue
Toto
in the Bible,
je príbeh
Old Testament, 1 Kings.
prvej kráľov.
Someone has some property rights.
Niekto tam má nejaké právo na majetok.
Brother Roland.
There's a vineyard.
Good.
Tamto je s tou nábotovou vinicou.
This is chapter 21.
To je 21.
This is
kapitola.
Naboth's
Yeah.
vineyard.
Nábotová vinica.
Ahab,
Achab
he wants to make him a deal that he can't refuse.
mu chce dať dohodu, ktorú nemôže odmietnúť.
And he would be silly to
A
refuse
bol by
that.
hlúpy, keby to odmietol.
It's not that Naboth doesn't like money.
To nie, že by Nábod nemal rád
the
rád
problem?
peniaze. V čom je problém?
What's the principle?
V tom princípe, aký je ten princíp?
This was an ownership from his family. Tradition.
The first thing
Prvá vec,
that Joshua is going to do when he gets to Canaan
ktorú Jozua spravil, keď prišiel do Kanánu,
after he's cleared the land,
potom ako vyčistil zem,
is do what?
urobil čo?
Everybody gets
Každý
land.
dostal zem.
They all get a
Každý
portion,
dostal časť zeme.
and they are forbidden to
A
sell
bolo
it.
zakázané to predať.
Why?
Prečo?
No. Sorry? Because it's their inalienable right.
Je to ich neodnateľné právo.
He has to do
Musel
that.
to urobiť.
He's not giving them a
To
favor.
nerobil im láskavosť.
This is their right as a human being to own
To je
property.
ich právo ľudské vlastniť zem.
Anything short of that is just a disaster. It's just wrong.
Keď to tak nie je, je to zlé?
Are you okay?
Súhlasíme?
This is why people,
Preto ľudia,
please don't, I don't want to start up another study.
nechcem teraz začať nejaké iné štúdium,
It's why people have a problem with renting,
preto majú ľudia problém s prenajímaním.
because it feels wrong.
Majú pocit, že je to nesprávne alebo zlé.
The reason it feels wrong
A dôvod, prečo majú z toho zlý pocit,
is because someone is doing you a favor.
je, že niekto vám robí láskavosť,
They're borrowing or they're loaning you the use of their property.
oni vám požičiavajú svoj majetok na
And somewhere in
používanie.
the back of our
A
nature,
niekde na pozadí našej prírodzenosti
it feels, what does it feel?
máme z toho pocit
Wrong.
nesprávny.
It feels wrong.
Máme z toho
The
zlý
reason why it
pocit.
feels
A ten
wrong
dôvod je,
It's because it's our right to pursue
pretože
happiness,
naše právo je získať šťastie
which is ownership.
a to je vlastníctvo.
So please don't give me any questions on the rights and wrongs of renting.
Prosím vás, nepýtajte sa ma nič ohľadne toho, čo je správne a nesprávne pri
It's not the purpose of my comment.
prenajímaní. Kvôli tomu nerobím teraz tento koment.
Okay, let's switch something now.
Poďme to teraz premeniť.
We've looked at all of
Pozreli
this.
sme sa na toto všetko.
We've seen about the relationship of the great test and the
Videli
Sabbath.
sme ten vzťah tej veľkej skúšky a soboty
In our
v našich
history,
dejinách.
what must there
Čo
be?
tam musí byť?
Sabbath keeping.
Dodržiavanie soboty.
It has to be there.
Musí to tam byť.
But
Ale
it is not
nie je to
the great test.
veľkou skúškou.
The great test
Veľká skúška
is number 6.
je šestka.
And we are calling that
A to
equality.
nazývame rovnosť.
So you have the 6
Čiže máme
commandments,
6 prikázaní,
equality,
rovnosť,
nationalism, sexism, homophobia.
nacionalizmus, sexizmus, homofóbia.
So,
Takže
Nethinims
netinejci
have to keep Sabbath.
musia dodržiavať
And
sobotu.
therefore,
Takže
we have
aj
to.
my musíme.
But I want us to see something
Chcem, aby
else.
sme videli niečo iné.
Something else that we can see from our studies.
Niečo iné, čo môžeme vidieť z toho štúdia.
If everyone's okay with parables here,
Všetci súhlasíme s podobenstvami.
this is what number?
Toto je aké číslo?
Bailey? Number 6.
Číslo 6.
This one?
A to je číslo 4.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Dáva to zmysel?
Yeah? I'm not teaching again. I'm just making sure that those numbers mean something to
Ja
you.
len sa snažím uistiť, že tie číslá vám niečo hovoria.
New commandment.
Nové prikázanie.
That would be the old one. Okay, so
A
now we've
staré.
done that. Had these verses.
Tieto verše.
Is everyone okay with what we've taught?
Súhlasíte zatiaľ s tým, čo sme učili?
Yes?
Áno?
So what have we laid out
Čo
here
sme tu ukázali?
that I'm pretty sure has escaped your attention?
Som si istý, že vám to uniklo.
There's a huge
Tu je
issue,
veľký problém.
a big issue here
Veľký problém.
that's been plaguing Adventism since its inception, its beginning.
Ktorý je v adventizme od jeho začiatku.
It's a problem that continues to confront this
A je to
movement.
problém, ktorý stále konfrontuje toto hnutie.
Do we want to go with the solution or the problem?
Chceme zobrať riešenie alebo problém?
Okay, tell us what the problem
Dobre,
is.
povedz, čo je problém.
I don't know.
Okay.
Ich weiß nicht.
I'm not sure what you look for, but it gives us a new number. It's not 46.
No.
Also ich bin mir nicht sicher, aber du gibst uns eine Nummer, es ist 64, aber das ist es nicht.
Everywhere you go around the world, this problem keeps on raising its ugly head.
Všade vo svete, kam idem, tak tento problém narastá.
Okay, so no one knows what I'm talking
Nikto nevie, o
about.
čom hovorím.
What's the great controversy over?
Nad čím je ten veľký spor?
More basic than that.
Je to niečo základnejšie ako toto?
Sorry? Who?
Who you worship?
Who?
Between God and Satan?
Koho uctievaš? Boha alebo satana?
The Sabbath?
Who you worship?
Who you
Koho
worship?
uctievaš?
Let's go back to the original.
Poďme na
What's
začiatok.
Lucifer willing to do?
Čo Lucifer
Willing or
chce urobiť?
Is he willing to worship?
Je ochotný uctievať.
no?
Yes, and
Yes and no.
explain.
Erkläre.
We'll go with the no.
The no? Oh.
Explain the no.
Vysvetli, prečo
Okay, he
nie.
was
Erkläre das Nein.
Just finish this. He's not willing to worship.
Jesus.
On nebol ochotný uctievať Ježiša.
Controversy
Und das Gegenteil.
has always been over Jesus.
Vždy to bolo o Ježišovi, ten rozpor.
What do we call
Ako
that?
to nazývame?
This issue about
Tento
Jesus
problém
today, for probably the last century. I don't know.
o Ježišovi možno za posledné
Controversy.
Nature of Christ?
storočie možno?
No, not the nature
Nie,
of
nie,
Christ.
Nature
nie
man?
prirodzenosť Krista.
Okay.
What do we call that?
What did you
That
say?
problem equal to God.
Ten problém toho, že
That's
je
the
rovný
issue.
Bohu.
Das ist das Problem.
To je ten problém.
The
Božstvo.
the Godhead.
Božstvo.
Gottheit.
So, what is the Godhead issue?
O čom je celý problém toho božstva?
Holy Spirit.
Holy
Duch
Spirit.
Svätý.
Heiliger Geist.
Explain a little bit more.
Vysvetli trošku viac.
First of all, if the Holy Spirit is a person, and the second is if Jesus is a created being.
Prvé je, že či Duch Svätý je osoba a druhé je, či Ježiš bol stvorená bytosť.
Jesus eine,
Ein geschaffenes Wesen.
ein geschaffenes Wesen ist.
We'll put the Holy Spirit to one side.
Ducha Svätého dáme teraz na chvíľu na bok.
Auf eine Seite legen.
Sister Catherine,
Katrin,
why do people think that Jesus is a created
prečo si
being?
ľudia myslia, že Ježiš je stvorená bytosť?
Jesus ein geschaffenes Wesen ist.
Because he was born here.
Denn er war hier,
Pretože tu bol
Because he was
narodený.
born here.
weil er hier geboren wurde.
Good. Sister Suellen?
Because he's called the only begotten
Je
Son.
nazvaný jednorodený syn.
It's because he's called the
Je
Son,
nazvaný synom.
Er den Sohn genannt.
the only one.
Jednorodený.
Der
Jediný.
Einzige.
Begotten means,
Conceived.
just go with born.
Es heißt,
Zrodený.
Born.
Eingeboren.
geboren heißt,
He's the only one that was born
Bol jediný, ktorý bol narodený, alebo zrodený
of the Father.
z otca.
What number is
To
that?
je ktoré číslo?
4.
Štvorka.
This issue
Otec a syn. Tento problém
is a conflation or a misunderstanding of
je
what?
neporozumenie čoho?
Parable teaching.
Vyučovania v podobenstvách.
So this whole Godhead controversy
Celý spor nad božstvom
is so silly,
je taký pochabý alebo hlúpy.
so obvious a
A je
mistake,
to úplne zrejmé, že je to omyl.
and just can be easily
A
explained
jednoducho sa dá vysvetliť.
by what?
Čím?
By parables.
Podobenstvami.
Parables explain everything.
Podobenstva vysvetľujú všetko.
I don't know
Neviem
why,
prečo.
but we got fixated on this relationship number
Sme
4.
zafixovaní na tento vzťah číslo 4.
Why do we get
To je
focused on
rodič
number
a-
2?
Rodič a dieťa. Prečo sa
Why do we
nezameriavame
get focused on
na
number 2,
dvojku o
sister?
manželstve?
Catherine?
Katrin?
Sorry? Give me the names.
Daj mi tie názvy alebo mená.
Christ,
Kristus,
Go with Jesus.
Ježiš,
Christ is his job function.
okay. And
Kristus
his
je jeho úloha.
church, your bride. I'm missing something.
A otec.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Brother Jim. Number 2.
Dvojka.
Put number 2 onto that,
Daj
please.
sem na toto dvojku, to je vzťah manželstva.
The Holy Spirit.
No? What's number 2?
Oh, number 2, marriage.
Put it
Manželstvo.
onto that.
Ako to na to aplikuješ?
What kind of relationship is that?
Aký je to vzťah?
That's a father son. Or a
He is a-
child.
No, it's not parent-child. It's number 2.
V tej dvojke
This is a
je
man.
muž,
Yeah.
This is a man.
to je muž.
Let's put number 2 on.
Keď na to dáme dvojku.
Help him, Brother Wolfgang.
Wolfgang, pomôž mu.
If it comes out of your mouth, not mine. Right to the mic.
It's against homophobia.
Awesome.
Against
To je
homophobia.
proti homofóbii.
We're not willing
Nie sme ochotní
to take this seriously.
zobrať toto vážne.
We just pick one that we
Vezmeme
like,
to, ktoré sa nám páči.
parent, child,
Otec a syn.
and we say, we teach crazy things
A povieme, my učíme
that
bláznivosti.
he is really this person's son.
Že on je naozaj jeho synom.
Take
Zoberte
this
si toto.
and do it properly.
Urobte to poriadne.
Every
Každý
relationship.
vzťah.
So these two are going to be married
Títo
now.
dvaja budú teraz zobratí.
Is he the father's slave?
Je on otcov služobník?
You can see where this goes.
Vidíte, kam to ide?
We're only willing to take these ideas
Sme ochotní zobrať len tieto
as
myšlienky,
far as we feel comfortable.
pokiaľ sme s tým sami nejako v poriadku,
Because when all
pokiaľ nám
of this
vyhovuje.
language was developed,
Tento jazyk, keď bol vyvinutý,
they knew what?
vedeli čo?
Not knew. They believed.
Verili?
What did they
Čo verili?
believe? That homosexual relationships were wrong,
Že homosexuálne vzťahy sú nesprávne,
so they never apply that to two men.
takže to nikdy takto neaplikovali.
But they don't mind doing a
Ale
parent-child.
otec a syn to im nevadí.
The whole problem with the Godhead model that most people hold on
Celý
to
problém s tým modelom božstva, ktorého sa ľudia držia,
is that they're not willing to see the forceful nature of a parable
je, že nie sú ochotní vidieť tú prírodzenosť podobenstiev
and they're not willing to see
a nie sú ochotní vidieť,
except
prijať,
that when they're not willing to accept
nie sú ochotní prijať,
that when a prophet has to speak about
že keď
heaven,
prorok musí hovoriť o nebi,
how will they
ako
explain
to
it?
vysvetlia?
How would you explain heaven?
Ako vysvetlíme nebo?
Through a
Cez
parable.
podobenstvo.
You cannot explain the Godhead
Nemôžeme vysvetliť božstvo
in spiritual language. It has to be done in natural language.
duchovným jazykom. Musíme to vysvetliť len tým prirodzeným.
And for whatever reason God decided,
A z akéhokoľvek dôvodu Boh sa rozhodol,
He didn't make that a man and a woman.
neurobil to žena a muž,
He made it a father and a
ale
son.
otec a syn.
It's not
Nie je to,
that the Godhead
že božstvo
is a father and a son.
je otec a syn.
And that's what people are not willing to
A
see.
toto ľudia nie sú ochotní vidieť.
Because not only is heaven
Nielen nebo
going to be portrayed here on earth,
bude zobrazené tu na zemi,
when you speak about
ale keď
heaven,
hovoríme o nebi,
it has to be spoken about
musí sa o tom hovoriť.
in what
Akým
language?
jazykom?
In natural language.
Prirodzeným jazykom.
You can't speak about it in spiritual language
Nemôžete o tom hovoriť duchovným jazykom.
because who are you speaking to?
Lebo ku komu hovoríte?
Us.
Nám.
And we can't understand spiritual
My
things.
nerozumieme duchovným veciam.
So it can't be done in that language. It has to be done in natural or literal language.
Čiže musí sa to spraviť tým prirodzeným jazykom.
Brother Wolfgang.
Why did you put number 2 to the relationship between Father and Jesus?
Prečo dávaš tú dvojku na vzťah medzi otcom a Ježišom?
You could have done also number 5 that they are
Mohol si spraviť
friends.
aj 5, že sú priatelia.
I would say this relationship must be a number 6 on the board.
Ja si myslím, že tento vzťah je 6. vzťah.
It's unique.
To je unikátny vzťah.
If you can tell me what the number 6 is, because I can't say we've got a unique relationship.
A čo by bola tá 6? Aký je unikátny vzťah?
I'm
Ja
saying
hovorím,
this relationship that they
že
have
tento vzťah, ktorý majú,
is not unique.
nie je unikátny.
It's every single
Je
one
to
of
každý
these.
jeden z týchto tu.
Marriage between a man and a woman
Manželstvo medzi ženou
is
a mužom
a reflection, a shadow
je taký,
of this relationship between these two beings.
je tieň alebo odraz tohto vzťahu týchto dvoch bytostí.
If you want to understand how they get along with
A
each other,
chcete
how they
rozumieť,
relate,
ako medzi sebou fungujú, aký majú vzťah,
the best way to explain it
najlepší spôsob, ako to vysvetliť,
is that they're married,
je manželstvo.
they're brother and
Sú
sister,
brat a sestra.
there's a parent and a
Je to
child,
otec a dieťa.
they're
Sú
friends,
priatelia.
and one serves the
A
other.
jeden slúži druhému.
There's nothing unique about
O tom
that.
nie je niečo jedinečné.
It's all explained in our human
Je to
relationships.
vysvetlené v našich ľudských vzťahoch.
But people who have a hang up on this doctrine, the Godhead
A ľudia,
doctrine,
ktorí sa držia tohto učenia o božstve,
a fixation
sú
with
na
it,
to nafixovaní,
are not willing to take the other 4 relationships and apply them to this relationship, these
Nie
beings.
sú ochotní zobrať tieto ďalšie 4 vzťahy a aplikovať ich na to.
Because they have built-in prejudices.
Pretože majú vbudované predsudky.
They're not prepared to make one a brother and one a sister.
Nie sú pripravení urobiť z jedného brata a z druhého sestru.
The only reason they're not prepared to do that is because that's not the words that we use.
A ten dôvod je taký, že to nie sú tie slova, ktoré používame.
It's just a really basic misunderstanding of how to read
Je to
inspiration.
základné neporozumenie toho, ako čítať inšpiráciu.
If a person was willing to go through these
Ak
studies,
človek by bol ochotný ísť cez toto štúdium,
I think they would have accepted
myslím,
everything
že by to prijali, toto všetko.
until you get to the punchline that hurts
Až
them.
dokým prídeme k tomu, čo ich zraňuje.
When it affects their pet theory,
Keď to zaútočí na ich teóriu,
their
ktorú majú
special
obľúbenú.
favorite theory. Because they're fixated on the natural language
Lebo
here.
sú zafixovaní na ten prírodzený jazyk, čo je tu.
And they've turned it into
A
what?
urobili z toho čo?
The spiritual reality.
Duchovnú realitu.
And it could never be
To
that.
tak nemôže byť.
You could never describe the relationship of those two beings
Nikdy nemôžeme vzťah týchto dvoch bytostí popísať
in spiritual terms.
duchovnými pojmami.
It can only be done in
Dá sa to
natural
urobiť len
terms.
prirodzenými pojmami.
And for whatever reason, God decided to choose number 4.
A Boh si zvolil číslo 4.
Let's pray.
Poďme sa pomodliť.
Our Heavenly Father,
Nebeský Oče,
as we discuss a very important and delicate subject,
ako hovoríme o dôležitých a jemných témach,
it's my hope and
je
prayer
to moja nádej a modlitba,
that those people who have a different view to us
že tí ľudia, ktorí majú iný pohľad ako my,
on the Godhead
ohľadne božstva,
would be willing to go through these studies
budú ochotní prejsť cez tieto štúdie,
step by
krok po
step.
kroku,
And when they see how it challenges their preconceived
a keď
ideas
uvidia, akú to robí výzvu ich predpojatým názorom,
of your relationship with Jesus,
tvojho vzťahu s Ježišom,
I pray that they would have the intellectual honesty
prosím, aby oni mali úprimnosť intelektuálnu,
to follow through with those conclusions.
aby zobrali aj tie závery.
Each of us needs your grace
My všetci potrebujeme tvoju milosť,
in order to understand the
aby
truth.
sme rozumeli pravde.
In Jesus' name we
V
pray.
mene Ježiša sa modlíme.
Amen.
Amen.